Hey, I'm back. This is Goose, and this is On With The Show. And yeah, I got a haircut. Oh, you're probably wondering, where'd all my hair go? Oh my gosh, it's all gone. Let me tell you something. When I wake up and I look more like Doc Brown than, anything else, and the hair is like all over, it's time to get it all cut. And when it gets hot here, it's better for me to have it nice and short, and I like it nice and short. So yeah, just kind of get used to it for a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to keep this kind of haircut for a while. And but yeah, it was just time. It was time. But getting into the show today, our topic today is Kevin Feige finally going to right the ship of Marvel and Marvel Studios? That was the headline I saw this weekend, and we will get into it in just a little bit. But if you haven't already, go down, subscribe to the channel, bang the bell for notifications, bang the bell for notifications, so you always know when new videos are uploaded, and give me a big like, because it does help with the algorithm and the channel. It helps get this out to other people. And let's get into it. From Variety, Kevin Feige on Marvel Studios' future, focusing on lower budgets, less TV, and more Robert Downey Jr. Look at Superman. It's clearly not superhero fatigue. This was written by Adam B. Vari, Angelique Jackson, and Brent Lang. And the article goes on to say, Angela left you in here as a test to see who would try to break the lock. Yeah, that was a nice little joke. Kevin Feige was teasing a small group of journalists, including from Variety, while sitting at the end of one of the most storied conference rooms in Hollywood, in the heart of Marvel Studios offices on the Disney lot in Burbank. He was there to talk about the past, present, and future of the studio he's led since Robert Downey Jr. declared himself to be Iron Man in 2008. After Marvel's communications chief Angela Shaw brought Feige into the room, he gestured to the opposite wall covered with shuttered doors that are secured with padlock behind them. He explained with a smile are the plans for the next 7 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's traditionally a 5-year plan, he said. I think it goes till 2032 right now. Though it has been quite 7 years since he last did this, it's still rare that Feige gives an interview of this length and candor. But after some ice-breaking small talk in which Marvel's chief creative officer shared his thoughts on DC Studios' Superman, more on that, Feige made clear that he's spending Friday before the premiere of the Fantastic Four First Steps, the 37th film and 54th title overall in the MCU, speaking on the record. We produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019, but in the 6 years since Avengers Endgame concluded the Infinity Saga, we've had well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. That's too much. In fact, including animation, Marvel's multiverse saga spans 127 hours of content. After Endgame, Feige said the company entered into a period of experimentation and evolution of the kinds of movies it was making, leading to projects like Eternals and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I've always thought if you take success and don't experiment with it and don't risk with it, then it's not worth it, he said. What we also ended up focusing on because of Disney Plus was expansion. And it's that expansion that I think led people to say, it used to be fun, but now do I have to know everything about all of these? Consequently, Feige believes the well-documented problems Marvel has been facing over the last few years stem from an overabundance of supply, not a sudden drop in demand. Look at Superman, he said, the hit film, which opened at $125 million domestically and has grossed $407 million globally. To date, it's clearly not superhero fatigue. I liked it a lot, Feige added of the DC film. I love you, just jump right up into it. You don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Tough, you'll figure it out. This is a fully fleshed out world. As Feige explained, and as Disney CEO Robert Iger has also said more than once, Marvel's dramatic increase in volume spread Marvel far too thin for its relatively small team of executives to keep up with. For the first time ever, quantity trumped quality. We spent 12 years working on the Infinity Saga saying that it's never going to happen to us. We always had more characters than we could possibly make because we weren't going to make a movie a month. Suddenly there's a mandate to make more, and we go, well, we have to do more. Starting in 2013, audiences began to sour on Marvel's content on the big and small screen as Variety reported in June, only 3 of the 22 films in the Infinity Saga grossed less than $500 million worldwide. Since the pandemic, however, 7 out of 13 movies in the MCU have failed to reach that milestone. Viewership for Marvel's streaming shows, meanwhile, has also steadily declined according to data from Illuminate. Most recently, Thunderbolts, which earned some of the best reviews Marvel's received in years, has only grossed $380 million globally. Yes, thank you for sticking with me on that long article. There was more to it, but I didn't want to get into the weeds. So it looks like Kevin Feige is finally, I think, seeing what we've all been talking about the last few years, and that is that it seems that while it's good to kind of tie in movies into the next one, it sometimes gets too much. And one of the things I said back in the video when I said is Disney Plus ruining the MCU, I brought up all the different television shows of characters that were never seen on the films but are suddenly making an appearance in the films. And I pointed out that the Marvels was one of them. A lot of people, I don't think, knew who Kamala Khan was, who's Ms. Marvel. They didn't know who Rambo was from WandaVision. And so when they're thrown into this movie and they're like, oh, who are these people? It kind of takes out, what's going on. And let me just tell you right off the bat a few things. One, I've seen the Marvels. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that good either, but I didn't think it was that bad. It was kind of a meh film for me. And I think the highlight of the whole movie is, of course, I can't remember her full name, but the gal who plays Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, I think she's very talented and she's very funny. And I think she kind of stole the movie away from Brie Larson. I have not seen Thunderbolts yet. I hear it's really good. I just haven't had a chance to get out to see it yet. And the other thing about one of the things that's also going on, especially with Disney Plus, and let me know if I'm wrong, but one of the things that Disney has done, especially recently, is that if a movie's a hit, it takes longer to get into its Disney Plus streaming service. If it's a flop, well, by golly, it's there within a couple of months. I mean, let's just look at Snow White. I mean, it opened in March, and all of a sudden, at the end of May, it was streaming on Disney Plus. So, and I think that has a lot to do with money also. But it kind of takes away from people really going to the theater. If you think about it for a minute, I'm going back to in the day, when we had VHS tapes that in video stores like Blockbuster and Movie Gallery and the Videorama, wherever it is, whatever video place you were going to get your movies that weekend. If a movie was a hit, it took a while to get. They wanted to keep that movie in the theaters as long as possible before they made plans to release it on VHS into the stores. Sometimes it would take maybe a year or so for once a movie left the theater till when it gets to the video store because, hey, we want to increase the anticipation, especially on a massive hit. If a movie flopped, you would see that VHS come out a lot sooner, maybe within a few months after it left the theaters, and that was mostly, it still is basically a monetary thing because they want to make as much of their money back on the movie as possible. But back then, you kind of just let it. You wanted to heighten that anticipation before people could run to the store and rent it or buy it and then be able to see it at home 10 million times before, they wore the tape out. Now, with all the streaming that's going on, if a movie flops, well, that that studio wants to get it on their streaming service almost as soon as possible to recoup all their money that they've lost already as much as possible, because they know that, we'll come home, we'll see it on the streaming service, whatever streaming service it is, and oh my gosh, I didn't have to go to the theater. It's right here that I already paid what, $8.99, $15.99, $22.99 for a month. And I think that that's kind of a little bit of the problem with Disney and Disney Plus right now, is that sometimes if a movie, they don't let a movie kind of ruminate. I guess that's the best word I can think of, at the theaters. Because a lot of times a movie will, a movie maybe won't do well the first weekend, but the word of mouth gets out there, and then the second weekend, the third weekend, and people are still going to see it. I can take you more than maybe 10 years ago of a movie called Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, which everybody was like, this movie's about a theme park ride. I mean, what can you get of? And pirate movies were not the thing, back then. I mean, nobody was doing a pirate movie, since Cutthroat Island bombed so badly. Nobody was doing, pirate movies. And then all of a sudden, it released, and I think it pretty much stayed in the top 5 all summer long. It was a massive hit for Disney. It became one of those movies. I mean, we just saw that movie again, just like last week, because it's one of my favorite Disney live action films, Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl. It's just, again, no one saw anything coming out of it, so they didn't expect much of it. And then because it got the word of mouth, people kept going and seeing it, going to see it, and going to see it. And I didn't even have a chance to see the movie until it had been out for 8 weeks. They don't do that much anymore. They pretty much was like, if it doesn't hit a certain plateau, if it doesn't make a certain amount of money within the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, time to let's start bringing the film back. Start making plans on streaming it on Disney Plus or Paramount Plus or Peacock or whatever, Netflix, whatever. And that's what they do now. If a movie does not perform well financially, in the theaters, and I think a lot of it that also has to do, and I think I've talked about this before, because the budgets, I think I talked about this with Snow White, the budgets ballooned so high that, if you don't make a huge impact in the first week, then, oh my gosh, well, this is we're gonna lose our pants and our shirts and our underwear on this whole thing. So I think Feige is kind of like, and I think he's right to do so, when it came to, hey, we had all the success with the Infinity Saga, with Endgame, and now it was time to kind of like, let's see what we can do from here. Let's see how we can experiment and see what we can do. And I think they found some love on Disney Plus with WandaVision and Falcon and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I almost said Falcon and the Snowman, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They found some success, and then they started introducing some more minor characters like Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight and She-Hulk and all these other characters on television, which is something I've always have said. And it's either been a hit or a miss with their television. But I agree with them in one point. They put out a lot of movies in a very short period of time. And a lot of us were like, wait a minute, I just saw this movie over here. I haven't even got a chance, to even digest that film. And now you got this coming out now? And I don't think it was fatigue. I agree with them on one thing. I do think it's the quality of the films. I've not seen Superman yet. I will admit that. I've not seen Superman yet. But I hear it's great. And I think, for me personally, I wanted to kind of wait to see what the reviews are going to be and how it was going to be received. I did the same thing when it came to The Flash. I didn't rush out there right away to see it because, hey, I knew this movie was in trouble, so I wanted to wait to see what the reviews were going to be, what other people were going to say, the word of mouth, and and I waited for streaming for The Flash. Whereas when it came to Deadpool and Wolverine, by golly, we went and saw that within the first couple weeks. Because so many people were seeing it, so many people were saying such great things about it, and so many people are just overjoyed with seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine when we thought he was gone forever, and it's actually amazing. But again, Feige, I think he is taking the right course on this. I think he's seen what has gone on, and he's righting the ship, and he's like, okay, we're going to start doing less stuff now. I think they're going to continue to do some of the television stuff. I think we're going to continue to see Daredevil, and we're going to see that play out. I love Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. I think he's probably one of the most underrated villains in the MCU right now. And everything that, I know I'm stumbling over my words here, but everything that looks to be for the Fantastic Four looks really good. And I think that they really took their time with this one. They didn't want to rush into this. I think they're kind of pulling back a little bit. They're letting the advertising and everything kind of like take over for the anticipation of the next Avengers movie. They wanted to really get out Fantastic Four. From what I've heard, it looks really good. Let's hope, because it's not that the other Fantastic Four. Let me just put it. The last Fantastic Four they did, not so good. The ones they did in the '90s, pretty good. And despite what people say about Jessica Alba, I thought she was great. But yeah, I think we have some hope now for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the idea of, hey, let's not put out so much material, in a short period of time, I think will be good for the studios. I think they need to take their time with both the television and the movies, because I think that they should continue to produce and put out stuff for Disney Plus. As far as content is concerned, and I think that by continuing to do shows like Daredevil, Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, I think that would very much be a benefit, and even Echo. I think Echo would be a good show to continue working on, and I think that the idea here is just, let one be the television and the other be the movies. If they happen to cross over, they cross over. But let one, let's keep Ms. Marvel and Kamala Khan over on Disney Plus, and let's leave Spider-Man and Tom Holland and Peter Parker over on, the movie side of it. And I think that will kind of, I don't want to say fix everything, but it'll definitely bring back an evenness and a stability to the Marvel Studios, and I think it'll even bring a higher quality to both the television and the movies. But only time will tell. We'll see how it works out. I think that, like I said, he's writing the course. He's realizing that they made their mistakes. They did what they needed to do with the experimentation. They learned from what they had to do, which was the right, all of that was the right thing to do, because they do have a lot of characters to work with. And who knows, maybe we'll have a chance to see more of these characters a little bit later on. But only time will tell. This is the end of the podcast for today. Thank you for watching. If you, again, haven't already, go down and hit the subscribe button. Bang the bell for notifications. Bang, bang, bang the bell for notifications as new videos are uploaded. Give me a big like on the video, as it does help me with the algorithm and help this get out to more and more people. Share this out to your friends, family, neighbor. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you think I'm right on the money and Kevin Feige's finally listening to us and finally riding the ship. We're like, no, they're going down like the Titanic. I'm really interested in what it is what your ideas are with this whole thing. But I was very fascinated to see this article out by Variety this weekend. Thank you very much for watching the show. My name is Goose. This is On With The Show. I will see you on the other side.